Hello, everybody. It's Friday, and my usual gig on Fridays is over at Texture Junkies with Sharon, but she canceled last night, so I decided to come on today. Normally, I stream with her from 3 to 5, but Karen ended a little early at 2. So, like, typically she would have ended at 2. So I was like, let me go on at 2. She ended a little early today, but I needed time to get ready. So I'm like 5 minutes early, but um, so got a lot to show you. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been doing a lot of gluing. I'm going to turn my air conditioning off right now because it's probably very loud. Excuse me. Much better. But if I don't have it on, then things get sweaty. So I tried to cool the place down before I came on with y'all. So, hello to everybody coming in. I'm going to give everybody a second to roll in, and please hit that like button. It's much appreciated. It's free. It's easy to do, and it won't disturb the environment. Let's just say that. So, I hope everybody's having a good Friday so far. I just watched Karen McCoy and her last day of watercolor month. So it's been an amazing month watching Karen create all sorts of beautiful things with her watercolors and and all the other stuff she gives us. So we thank you, Miss Karen. We love you. And don't forget, you can watch her watercolor month videos on replay whenever you want. So yeah, with any of our lives, if you're watching on replay, we really appreciate you. And leave us a comment, let us know what's going on and what's up. So what are you looking at here? Okay, so first of all, well, let me see, let me do this first. Let me give me a second. I got da, 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 da. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want you either. Sorry, I'm doing like little. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to get to my control room via the YouTubes so I can see who's here. All right, if you're in the chat, if you're in the stream and you want me to shout you out, just wave some filthy hands at me from where you are in the chat. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Alicia. Carol's here. Hey, Mo. That's Cookie Wookie. Hey, Eric. Hi, Miss Ava Lee. Hello, Mariah. And hi, Tegan. If I've missed, I said hi, Becky, too, I think. I don't know because she was here through the first one here. She's getting her nails done. So, hey, Becky, hope you're having a good Friday. I think I got everybody. Thank you, Alicia. That's much appreciated. Hi, Ann. How are ya? All right, so first things first. So I got a lot of prints on tissue and medical exam paper and all that, and rice paper. And I was cutting up chipboard from food packaging the other day before I did the recycling. So I had a bunch of stuff cut out. So I just glued a bunch of recent stuff I did onto some chipboard. I cut some up already. And that way I've got backgrounds ready. Easy peasy. Just pull them out. So I'm going to have a little box with just these things. That'll be fun to play with. So I've got this print here. And I just went on the back and just whatever pieces fit. And there you go. Makes my choices a lot easier. This one too. And this one's on regular colored copy paper, actually. But you see, you can get a bunch of stuff on one. I even made a little tag out of this one here. Hi, Rosemary. Hey, Shannon. I hope you're feeling better, Rosemary. Our friend Rosemary here had some surgery on her knees or knee. They don't do both at once. So sending you hugs, my friend, and hope you feel better soon. Hey, Karen. We're just talking about you. Yeah, it's not super hot here yet. It's only 80. Like the last couple of days have been just raining. Oh. Well, get all the rest you can, Rosemary. I helped nurse my aunt Helen through two knee surgeries, and it's not easy at all for the patient. So, oh, here's that one we did on the last live stream using the Tyvek masks. I added a couple more layers off camera. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah. So those are on there. So these are ready to go. I cut them and then save them to my. Like I said, I'll have a little box for stuff like that. Yeah. And then, inspired by Queen P over at PM Artist Studio, I have been saving my packing tape cores, the rolls, and I made some containers. This was suggested by Paula Keen in what do you call it? At the one of the PM Artist Studio live streams recently, and ouch, I just cut my nails and it's didn't do a very good job here. Anyway, um, yeah, thank you. Um, and so she inspired me to make these. So all these are, let me get the one tape dispenser I have left. It's the one thing I forgot to order. And I ordered a couple things off Amazon, and this was forgotten. But so this is the packing tape I use, and that's the core, right? So all I did was I set it on top of a piece of cardboard. I drew around it, cut out the cardboard, put it down on one side. I kind of I had to trim it up in a couple spots to make sure it fit the core, then just glued it with some glitter glue. And then I went over it with that brown packaging stuff. Where is it? I have an envelope of that somewhere, right? Got envelopes and stuff everywhere. Basically, this is what I'm talking about, the packaging paper. So cut that up into strips. I use the thinner one for these because it's easier to glue down, stay down. And the glue I use is this. I just use the Elmer's glue. I don't water it down, nothing, just straight out the bottle. And it works just fine. Um, and it's quite inexpensive. So I cut strips out of that paper, and you kind of want to cut them like that because when you're going around something round, you don't want paper that's too wide because then it can fold onto itself and create like I have a couple of like odd spots here and there, but mainly it's smooth all around because I cut the strips narrow. So all of these are using prints that I made with Joni stencil. Um, yeah, I forget the name, but it's one of Joni's stencils. You'll see it. This one here. This is another one. That stencil there. So anyway, So yeah, I just went around that with the and covered the entire container with the packaging paper. Hey, Saul, welcome. And once that's all dry, and this is another, I was gonna do this on a video, and then it's just it's a pain in the butt to film these for me, just because it takes so long for things to dry in between, and then you got to come back, and so it's a pain. So I just figured I'd just walk you through it. It's not brain surgery. Just it just takes time and patience. That's all it is. Um, so put on a good movie or some funny TV show, sit back and do your thing. Hey, Rhonda. Um, yeah, so once all the paper was nice and dry and I felt like it was smooth enough to continue, I applied a layer of this Liquitex Basics acrylic white gesso or whatever gesso you've got. I did one coat of that and it's enough, really. And then once that dries completely, because like Mariah made this point the other day when she was talking about the bracelets that P makes, is you need to let every layer dry completely, because if not, over time, those layers that you didn't allow to dry completely are going to start to separate and you won't be happy. Okay, so oh, Rhonda, these are cups I made from the cores of packaging tape. So the white part, right? And then I just cut the gel print that was on medical exam paper. I cut that up into strips. And I started basically what I started doing is I started with the solid piece like this. And if I can find those papers, I can show you the strips. But of course, you put them somewhere and you forget. Ah, here. Made myself a little folder with a gel print here. All right, so take some of that. Here, that's the same print here. All right. So what I do, cut a strip about that wide. You kind of figure, all right, so I want that white piece. So if I start in here with some on the bottom part, right? So you kind of figure you want some in here, so you get your coverage on the bottom, you get your coverage on there, and then you get your coverage here and whatever's left here. So kind of gauge my strip sizes to that. Cut them down. Hi, Pinka. How are you? And then just glue gently, one by one, slightly overlapping each one. Oh, trouble's in the house. It's Crystal from Chicago. Hey, girl. How are you? Yeah, just glue those down. Keep going all the way around, and then add any extra bits and pieces to cover any exposed areas. That's what I did in the middle. If anything was um, exposed. Sorry, my lighting is so bad, but tis what it is. Yeah. All right. So you do that, and whatever patterns you want. Then I bought some recently. I bought some paper punches, and I spent a couple of hours just punching out from scraps of gel prints. I punch out all different circles, so they're ready to go for whatever I want to use them for. Hey, Carla. So added circles to this one. And then I just went over it with a couple of coats of our friend Mod Podge in the gloss. So it's nice and shiny, sturdy. and then I can fill them with whatever I need to fill them with. I haven't decided yet. On this one, I added some string on the top and the bottom. Oh, I just got a message from Google and my Friday night is set. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Now this one's fun. I did this one with the large circles. And then I had the same print, but I had smaller circles. So I added some of those. More of a whimsical touch there. And then on the bottom, I added circle there. This one didn't get anything. And then this one has some purpley shiny goodness. And that's a little dot there. Kind of looks like, when you get that fancy cheese and it's got the label on the top, that's what that looks like. Well, they're for storage, Alicia. So whatever, I need or whatever, just put stuff in them. That's what that's for. All right. So while I was working on that, I also made myself a gigantic version of one of P's pencil holders. So this one is with all, let me take some of these out so you can see what's what. This is a portion of a box I cut, and then I taped in there some, what do you call those? Paper toilet roll cores. So those are in there, taped up, stuffed with extra paper in there, taped up some more. But the flippin' tape that I'm using isn't as good as what P has because it's more of a painter's tape and not like a regular masking tape. So anyway, once I got over those issues, um, I went over again with the strips of packaging paper and I glued all that, covered the entire area. All right, top and bottom, underneath. Now, if you've never done it before, trying to glue strips of tissue into these orifices, it's not easy and it's not fun. So props to P for her patience for doing that. But all I did was take some black acrylic paint and just paint the tubes. That's it. I mean, all they're going to have is just pencils going in and out. So I don't really care what's inside. That's just me. But if you want to do that with your tissue, go for it. Just use a smaller brush and bring a lot of patience. It does take time, and it takes it takes drying time too, because you got to let a lot of this stuff dry. And when you feel like things are like just like ooky and it just put it away, walk away, come back to it. So this took me over a week to finish. And it's not perfect, but it's fun. And I got to use my gel prints. And again, this one I also covered with a couple of layers of Mod Podge to protect it. And believe it or not, it's dried pretty good considering how humid it's been here the past couple of days. And so I'm really, jazzed about that. Look, like it's not sticky at all. It has two layers on on it. Like, yeah, you could use it with brushes. I could, mix it up, do brushes and pencils, whatever. It's all good. Now, if you're wondering, these are my cans that they were talking about earlier. I was thinking that, Rhonda, and I'm not sure. I think maybe you probably can. I haven't tried it that way, but I did think about that. So this is one of my cans. Different things you can do with your gel prints, guys. So what Rhonda's talking about is storing it this way. Now, it's not bad. So why would I want to store it that way? Well, um, acrylic pens, your acrylic markers are best stored on the side like that. So, por ejemplo, for example, look, that's my mommy. This was one of her containers. She wrote her name on everything and put her picture on stuff too. Okay. So, like, you got your acrylic markers here. So, here, let's take these out here. Come on out. Yeah, you make the adjustment during the build, but so I could do that with my acrylic markers. I honestly, if I were to make this a one that stood this way, I would make it a little bit deeper, so there's less chance of the pen sliding out, you know. But I did think about that when I was making this because I'm like, that's something I do want to do, but I don't use them as much as I don't use them as much as I do my pencil. So therefore, I made an executive decision to do it this way. Yes, see, Mariah says you learn something each build. You do. You really kind of figure out, okay, what's going to work, and then like you got to kind of let go of the perfectionness as well. Like that's the one thing that you got to kind of, you know, it's not going to be like P says FP, but if it's good enough for you and you could, you know, and you can live with it and it's functional for you, that's great. You know, I'm not selling this. I'm not, you know, putting this out there for what's that show, Shark Tank. This is for me for fun to make my studio look pretty. I have all these different boxes all around me that are all covered in my gel prints and stuff, and that really excites me when I look around because I go, "Oh, I created that, and that's me. I didn't buy that. That's me. I made that." You know, so that's a put a wedge. Yes, yeah. There's a lot of things too, and I don't, you know, I don't pretend to know about building these things. I didn't watch a video. I watched P. I listened to P and I followed her instructions. Pretty good instructions. The lady knows what she's talking about. Um, oh, before I go any further, I have an announcement. So Karen, please put your hands up. Let me know that you're listening. I am 15, going on 7. Okay. So this is for my friend Karen. Now I'm gonna laugh. I won't be able to say it. All right. So she was trying to figure out how to say a word in Spanish earlier in her stream. So I was trying to help her with, you know, my phonetic style. And so here we go. This is for you, Karen. You gotta you gotta record this. All right. Orange quinceañera. How's that? Orange quinceañera. We were trying to get trying to Karen was trying to perfect how to say quinceañera, and it's not easy for everybody. It's for everybody, so she did a really good job though. Mariah knows what a quinceañera is. Hey, Linda, how are you? And I had to throw in the orange because you know that's our thing. Orange. And then you saw this earlier, Rhonda. This is the box you sent me for my birthday. This was one of them, the one where it was where all the stuff was inside. Yes, you got to get that tongue right, right. So this is the box Rhonda sent me my birthday stuff in. So if you saw my birthday stream, you would have seen this box. It was pretty just basic, you know. Rhonda did her thing, and I kept it pretty much the same. I just added some tape in here for reinforcement. I did use the crap box. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I don't know what I'm gonna put in it yet, but I was like, yeah, let me do that. So I did the same thing with this box. use that packaging paper. And I thought I was out of packaging paper. I was kind of bummed. I was looking around. I'm like, oh, all I have is that thick, crafty type paper, and it's a pain to work with. So, as I'm moving stuff, I found a whole stash of packaging paper that I got that I had folded up nice and neatly for future use. And I just totally forgot about it because it was nice and neat. It wasn't sticking out. So I pulled that out and got to cut. And what is I have it right? Donde estás? No. Here, so this is gonna. Oh, you know why? Because it fell off me desk. So here, this is it. So this is a lot thinner than that other stuff I pulled out earlier. It's easier to work with. And for strips, I probably use like this size. Nothing too wide. Because like I said, especially if you're going around corners, it's going to bend more and give you more bumpies. So okay, the girls might be going downtown today. Oh, going downtown. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, downtown. All right, so that's save your packaging. Encourage your friends and family to save the packaging for you. And that's the thing. Yeah. I save what I can, and sometimes I'm like, I just don't care to save it. I'm just like, "Ugh, I don't want to save it anymore." But you know, I saw P doing this. I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. Okay, so there we go. That's another box. Don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet, but I'll find something. All right, so we got now what I want to do is I want to find a box. I do want to find a box that would fit these perfectly in them. Like these don't fit in here. That kind of bummed me out, but I will find something. If not, I might make something. I used to make things out of cardboard, and this is before I made videos. I had made my own little storage, like multimedia thing storage out of just pieces of cardboard and construction paper. I watched a video and I was like, I can do that. And I did it with the glue gun. Um, so that, yeah, so I do want to find a box for these. It's like I got paper clips coming. Here's a little side note. Amazon, has anyone experienced this with Amazon lately where you place your order and for like the next 3 days they tell you, oh, this is the day it's going to arrive. It will arrive this day. And then all of a sudden that day arrives, and halfway through that day, you get a message, oh, sorry, it won't be here for another 5 days. Has anyone else experienced that lately? It's happened to me at least 3 times, and I'm like, what, what's going on? Like, you're making money hand over fist, and you can't handle these simple orders. Like, Jeff, maybe stop pumping your wife full of Botox and BS and take care of your company. Cause you look a fool, dude. You look a fool. Yes, I said that. I said that. It changes a lot. And it's one thing where it's like, whatever, I can get it whenever. But like when you are, paying for a service that says, okay, if you need it within this time, we can get it with you during this time. Oh no, that nothing to do with the plague, Alicia. That has nothing to do with the plague. This has to do with greed. This has to do with people who don't give a flying fudge about the people who put them where they are now. You think that fool would have been able to have that fabulous wedding wherever he had it in Venice or whatever with his tiggle tittied wife? No, not without us. We're the ones who made that happen. Why didn't we get an invite? Shoot. At least deliver our stuff on time. No, this stuff's been going on long before the long before COVID. This has been going on for too long, and we've been ignoring it for too long. And this is why people are standing up now and finally going, hey, no, we're not putting up with your BS.com, as Karen says, because we're paying way too much for way too little. Way too little. No, I know. I'm just saying. In my experience, this has been going on for a very long time. Hello, Ivy Pearl. Welcome. Oh, so let me show you some more. This is the last one. So all that gessoing, I ended up with an empty gesso bottle. So what did I do? I cut the top off and I made it into a little holder. And this too has what do you call that stuff? Mod Podge. Hello, the whole bucket. How are you? Because I'm talking smack. Mariah, me and P need our own podcast, but we need a podcast where we can cuss. Because between her and I think we can come up with some new ones for some of the BS that we're being put through. I can't afford to eat meat. Let me tell you, when you go to the grocery store, when you try to order food, and a pound of ground beef is almost $8, I can't eat normal. You know, when you live paycheck to paycheck, that stuff really makes a big difference. Big difference. Okay, so yeah, so I made a bunch of stuff, gluing stuff. Um, but really, just showing you how I use my gel prints because people love to ask, how do how do you use your gel prints? What do you do with all your prints? And it's all sorts of stuff. Oh, that's the other thing is that I ordered a guillotine to cut my gel prints down with because I would love to send some to PM Artist Studio, but the cutter I have right now, the blades are dull and it's impossible to find the right ones without going like on eBay and spending $30. And I'm not gonna do that. So I said, well, let me just order a guillotine. And it was like on sale, like $18. It was about 12. It fits a 12-inch piece of paper, like it expands. So it's compact, but it has the arm that expands and it's got the traditional, guillotine cutting and all that. So, I was hoping to have that already, but I have to wait till Monday. Oh, I can't even, yeah. I mean, when you live, you live alone and you live paycheck to paycheck and you got your other bills you got to pay, it's not, it's not cute. You can't afford it. Hi, Darcy. How are you? Um, so yeah, so these are my glued up things. Move these out of the way. Um, what time is it? Oh, it's only 2:30. Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that. Cheryl, I don't sell my gel prints, not as of yet, because that's the other thing is it's just a whole long thing, but it's a pain in the patootie to get to the post office where I live, and for some reason, suburbs don't believe in mailboxes, so there's no mailbox around me for me to walk to, and it's just super inconvenient right now. So there are certain things I can and cannot do, but maybe one day I'll put together some kits of papers. I've thought about doing that. It's just, but we'll see. All right, so camera, stop doing that. Why are you doing that? It's doing that weird thing. I don't know why. Okay. Let's do. Oh, here's the other thing. Got some gel prints to pull. So this one is just black paint I had left over from doing this. So I just spread it with the brush over the entire gel plate, used up the paint that way. And then I did the P technique of using crap tape to pull up bits and pieces of it. And then I pulled it. I put down a layer of those pearl paints from Amsterdam and then pulled it with white. But I don't think it did much of a, it didn't leave much of an impact. It's hard to see, so that's kind of bummed me out, but like it's there, but it's the camera's not picking it up too well, but it's there. But I needed to clean the plates too because I want it. Now this one you can see it a little bit more. This one has some purple in it. It's hard to see. It's hard to see. It's not a very good representation, but they're fun prints, right? What we do with extra paint. All right, so what I want to do on here. Okay, so Sophia, she's one of our designers over at Primoda Studio. She posted about creating you get a piece of paper, put down your black acrylic, I think, or black gesso, put a stencil down. Sorry, I don't have it in front of me, so I'm trying to remember the process. Spray water soluble, water reactive dyes through the stencil, let that dry, and then do a stencil over that with white gesso. Oh, Rhonda, you have no idea. I should have been born a blonde, let's just say. Um, so yeah, so I kind of like thought of that. And then I was like, let me try it this way. Because I have black um mixed media paper. So what I did earlier today, don't make me talk like funny valley girl, Rhonda. You won't like it. Like, oh my god, I'm like from California, and like we totally love the sun, and like yeah, we talk like that. Um, so I did some sprays on here on this black mixed media paper. This is what I use to Strathmore. This stuff is really good. If you can find it, always check the art stores, art outlets for these pads of Strathmore mixed media paper, because they always do good sales on these. So, what was that noise? They always do good sales on these, and it's really good paper. So, keep an eye out for that. That's just a tip from your Uncle Eddie and your Auntie Rhonda out there in California. So, what I did again, not to get distracted, is I went over it with the I just sprayed onto black mixed media paper using the dilutions. So when I'm talking about dilutions, I have, yes, they do, Rhonda. They have a tan and a gray version of this paper. Yes, muy bueno. So this is the dilution spray. That's the brand. They're ink sprays and they're water soluble. They're water reactive. Okay. They're fun to play with. I play with them a lot. So I thought, what if I put it on the paper and then put a layer of, and then do a stencil on the plate with white gesso? Can I get the same effect? So basically, what the effect is pulling the gesso. What I'm hoping will happen is that the gesso will pull the coloring of the inks up through itself and reveal itself. We're gonna try it. Give it a try. We'll see how it goes. So I started that, made sure it's dry. Got some brand new white gesso. You can use gesso on your plate. Ask Darcy. Darcy's a daredevil with her gel plate, and I love her for that. So I always look to her for inspiration. Let me get these rolled out thin enough. And this is my latest design. This is called Twisted Flowers. It's available now in pmartiststudio.com. However, if you want to wait till midnight Central Time, which is 1 a.m. Eastern Time tonight, you'll be able to see more of my new designs and all the other new designs on that are coming out for August. They previewed one yesterday, and that's Carrie's new script stamp, which is fabulous. The other day, we saw Paula's fish stamps. They're so cute. So, yeah. All right, let's put this down. So, all that goodness comes out on the first. Now, if you've been watching my live streams, you will have seen my the two designs that I have coming out. Hi, Amanda. How are you? You will have seen them already, and I'm going to play with them again today. All right, so let's put this down. Let me get some paper and clean this up with. Hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, don't forget to hit the like button. If you are so inclined, you can also share it. It's much appreciated. Hello, Made by Marley is Desiree. Hello. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Hey, Becky. Yes, saw that. Becky's got a short video of her new design. Becky also does the swap over at PM Artist Studio, so watch out for that. I don't know if are you when are you putting up your new swap, Becky? Let the people know. Cool frames. Hello, Susie. How are you? Yes, designers have been rocking it, and I am so honored to be part of such a diverse group of designers. Because everybody puts their own stink on things, and it's fantastic. I love it, and so that's my two things. Swap will be posted tonight. Yay! That's not parchment. It is deli paper. Yeah. I'll show you the box because I have it right here. Look, it is Natural Craft deli paper. Yes, my usual gig on Fridays was canceled, so I decided to come on live on my own channel. My lives are tend to be surprises. All right, let's lift these up. Oh, beautiful. Oh, look at that. We didn't have to wait. That pulled that color right away. How great is that? Hey, Yolande. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting it to work that fast. Guys, this makes me so happy. Look at that. So you can see how that gesso just sucked that color right up off the paper. Oh man. So that is pretty cool. And Mariah says the white gesso will pull pink from the mixed media paper. Yes. Yes. It's great. So what I did is I intentionally like sprayed like certain areas. I didn't oversaturate the paper. I didn't put a lot. So what I did was I sprayed a few areas here and there with different colors. And then I sprayed a little bit of water. So it kind of spread a little bit, but not a lot. Just a little bit. Just un poquito. And then like I said, I let it dry. It had been drying for like 3 hours at least. Um, so there we go. I'm gonna pull my sprays out. Let's spray some on a full piece of paper. But let's do it with a stencil maybe. What if we did that? Yeah, Crystal, I did that, boo. That's how we do. Or like Barack says, that's what I do. Remember that viral video of when Barack was shooting hoops and he shot one and he just dunked it. It was whoosh, swoosh right in. And someone in the crowd said something and he goes, "That's what I do," and just walked away. Cool as shit. That guy's awesome. Okay. So we're gonna go over this again. I know people ask some questions, so I'm gonna do that again. Hi, Chiquita. ¿Cómo está mi amiga? Let me get my sprays out. All right, so I got a couple different sprays here. Some of them are duplicados. Okay. So that stencil I got over horror. Let's use this one. Actually, no, I'm going to do it just like I did it before because I think that worked well. Okay. So this is what I did earlier today is I took this black mixed media paper from Strathmore and just in areas did some spray. That was rose quartz. And what I'm using here are Dylusions ink sprays. They are water reactive. See, not going overboard. Just a little bit here and there. Just a little bit here and there. Un poquito. A little yellow in here. Okay. Let's see this little my glasses here. I plead with manufacturers to not use a silly font when it's so small. All right, this is turquoise vine or I can't read it, it's all vibrant turquoise. You're gonna make it so hard to read. You need a better font and you need to make it a little bit bigger because half of what that says in there is useless. God. Mariah, we could teach classes on this stuff, seriously, because they don't listen to the public. Yeah. It's like, okay, we don't need all that fancy. You need the name of the company, you need what it is, and you need the color. Put all that other nonsense on the back. We'll find it. Okay. Because Barbara, who's giving you advice on what silly fonts she wants to use because it's cute, doesn't know what she's talking about. Okay. All right. Then get some water. So I'm gonna get a little water and I just spray a little bit, just a little bit, just to get things moving, right? And then it's got to dry. It has to dry. So can't do anything with that just yet. But what I will do after, once it's dry, is come back and, like I did with the first ones here, put the stencil down, put some white gesso down, then pick it up with the paper here. And that's how we got these here. And the color came through almost immediately. Like I pulled the paper out. Um, I pulled the paper off the plate and the colors were there. And they're still coming through a little bit, but it's really, they turned out really good. Oh, got an update from Becky. Oh, you're welcome, Desiree. Awesome, Chiquita. Da 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 da. So Becky found her list. August maker swap is 3 napkins, preferably not used. Let's not be gross, people. And a little something handmade. More details in the swap. Sign up later tonight. Awesome. So if you are part of Makers, look for that tonight in the featured area. If not, go over to Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists, which is hosted by PM Artist Studio. And sign up, join, answer the 3 easy questions, and go in and you can share your art. You can share your experiences with art, and you can check out what the rest of us do too. Um, and I'm going to let this dry, but I'm going to give you also the collage prompts on for August. That is hosted by myself and Darcy, and I made a little graphic today. So thank you, Mo. Cookie Wookie there in the chat. She just dropped a link for the Makers Facebook group. If you click on that link and you go over to the Makers, there's 3 questions that they ask. They're really easy. They're simple, but you have to answer them in order for them to make sure that you're not a troll. Okay, because there's a lot of weird people out there who want to do bad stuff. So, they got to protect themselves. Okay, so here we go. Why isn't you opening? All right. So for the August Makers Collage event, I'll post this up. If I forget tonight, it'll be up first thing in the morning. Is there are 5 prompts: stamp, a door, time, butterfly, books/library, and the bonus theme, if you choose to use it, is abstract. And that's not a must. It's just an extra thing that you can do if you want. And that will be for August. And you want to use hashtag Makers Collage Prompt 26 when posting either in Makers or other social media so that we can see what you've created. It's a great way to follow follow the different posts. So yeah, and again, it's all posted in the featured sections, featured section of Makers, along with all the different events. Um, Does the collage project require anything other than posting and hashtags? No, just the hashtag, um, and your creation, and the only rule that Darcy and I really have is have fun, enjoy yourself. That's it. Hi, Izzy. I hope you're being good to Mummy and Gigi and listening to them. It's important, okay? Doesn't make sense now because you're young, but it's important. Give your daddy a big old hug. Right. So, what's the other thing? I've got some pieces of carnival tissue here. Darcy. Be nice. Let's see. Okay. I thought we'd play with some brushos. I don't have brushos. I have what's called infusions. Same thing, different company. So when I would play around with those, because he's been using them and I've been itching to get mine out. I just haven't had a chance because I was doing all that gluing and stuff for my containers. So I thought, well, maybe we could play with it today. Oh, yeah, Ivy. That stuff, it sells out fast. And unfortunately, it does, sometimes it takes a little longer than normal, but it's worth it. Don't worry, it's worth it. All right, so let me show you what I got here. These are the infusions I have. Really, I should have stocked up on water. Listen to me. Should have filled up my water. Although I'm going to use my spritzer. This one spritzes better. This is more of a finer mist, which is nice. Let's see. I got water here. All right. Okay. So got that. And let me. Gonna use the small gel plates today. I want to get rid of this stuff though. Yes, aerial spritzing. Spritz. Actually, Alicia, if you're in Makers, there's a cutting guide for carnival tissue. Do you, Mariah or Darcy or Mo, do you know if it's pinned to the featured section? Or if somebody could bump it in Makers, that would be great. So it's a really good guide on how to cut your wet strength tissue when you get the full size sheets. That I used when I first started using the Carnival wet strength tissue because it's a large, overwhelming sheet, and you're like, oh, I don't want to ruin it because it's cost money, and yeah. So, oh, thank you. So Mariah is going to be, she's going to do that. Oh, look. So check your tags, Alicia, on Facebook. You were tagged in it by Mo, so you may already be there. You just didn't know. I made that rhyme. Hi, Lucy. How are you? Yeah, it's a good guide. And it's something you can print out too. Like if you want to just print it out and put it with your stash of carnival paper, carnival wet strength. That's a good thing to do. All right. Some of this stuff just doesn't want to come up. Well, that's up to you, Alicia. But yeah, if you want to, like, if you have a smaller, if you want to cut a smaller piece and just try using cuts, cut like several small pieces and do different experiments. That's a good way to get to know your tissue, your carnival wet strength, because it's a unique it's a unique beast. Let me show you. So these are my there's a word for this. Swatches. That's the word. Good, thanks. Just became a grandma again. My daughter and her wife in Nova Scotia had a little boy. Congratulations, Lucy. That's fantastic. Very, very, very awesome. Oh, that's so good. I hope they're all well. So these are the colors I have. I don't have every color, but I have terracotta. Um, Packing tape is the best tape to use. The only tape you want to use. You don't want to use any sort of masking tape. You can use also like for those other prints that I did earlier here. I pulled the paint off with washi tape. Washi tape is fine on the plate too. Um, but masking tape you don't want to use. All right, so here I've got terracotta, frankly scarlet. Look at that. So you see how, like, these powders, if you've never used these powders, they're mixtures of different colors. So you can see in there, you can see the different colors in this powder that make up this scarlet. Yeah, they do. These are the cutest little bottles. They got a little bird on them. And these are manufactured in the UK. They're from Paper Artsy, PAPERARTSY.com. Water-based color stains. So they tell you right on there, they stain. Look how big that is. I can read that without my glasses. So take a lesson, Dilutions. Thank you, Mariah. So Mariah has pinned the Carnival Tissue cutting guide onto the featured section in Makers. And look at this one's Orange County. Very Halloweeny, this one. I need someone with a stick here to push me into the right spot, Mariah. Look at that. If you don't, it's trucks. If you don't over dilute, you can get some really interesting darker areas. Right there. Bring your stick, Mariah. Oh my God, wouldn't that be funny if all of a sudden you see this thing coming this way, going, Eddie, this way, that way. All right. This one's Royal Blood. There we go. And that's a really cool grungy type of color. Here's the Sage. It's called the Sage. But look at the explosion of all those different little colors. Got that. It's because you're the queen, Mo. It's because you're the queen. Black Currant, one of my favorites. Look at that. Kinds of all kinds of lovely in that. Half stick will travel, amen. In the Navy. Look at that. That's some awesome stuff there. And these are on watercolor paper, FYI. This is Rocky Road. Look at that. This is one of those like it doesn't have a specific color, like typical color, just Rocky Road. But look at all the different colors in there in that one powder. This is Black Knight. This one is RU Cerise. Cerise. Are you Cerise? Hello, Cerise. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. This is Emerald Isle, one of my favorites. How pretty that is. This is Magenta. This is Raspberry. Who knows the French word for raspberry? You get 5 extra points. Yes, cerise means cherry in French. In Spanish, it's cereza. Who knows what raspberry in French is? I know. Devin, you know. Framboise, yes. Un petit framboise? Oui? Non. Okay. This is called Green Man. And it looks like a little mouse right there. Isn't that funny? I like a little mouse. This one's Olive Tree. Oh, really, Ivy? It's something that like because I was taught kitchen French, like chefy French type of thing, Some conversational, but super basic and probably wouldn't get me very far, but you know. This one is Slate Blue. Oh, Rosemary says I've recently opened French bakery called Cerise. Major good stuff. I can smell it now. Nothing like the smell of a good bakery, like where they actually make the stuff. And this last one is Golden Sands. How intense that is. It's kind of like a turmeric. So let's pick a couple of colors here. Right? I could kill a croissant right now. All right. Since we're talking about cerise, spray a little cerise on here. So these have pinholes. I made a hole with a pin in the top to make it easier to extricate. And remember, a little bit goes a long way. So that was cerise, and I wanted to use a little bit of that Golden Sands. Terracotta, magenta, Golden Sands. There we go. Oh, what is that called? Pain au chocolat. So good. All right, let's just try these 2 colors and see what happens. Like this is a very fine mister. That didn't move at all. So let's get a little bit more encouragement. So I'm just going to lay the tissue down and see what happens. There's water there. And gently, I'm going to go over the tissue here to make sure it has contact with the plate. But I don't want to over disturb what's going on with the powders and kind of let it do its own thing. Let's see what happens. Oh, you're welcome, Carla. Yeah, I watched those when I first got them because I knew because they're hard to see just from the bottle. Just looking at it, it's like I don't know what that is, and you can't like just put some on your finger. It's insane. All right, Ivy Pearl. Good luck with that. Give him hell. Ooh, look already. How fabulous is that? That's going to be some really interesting stuff there. Now, I can, if I want, spray here, spray over it, and let that do its thing because it is wet strength tissue, so it's not going to rip on me, but it's also going to go through the tissue a little bit too. So that'll help. See? Yeah. All right, let that do its thing. On this side, what was that Becky was talking about earlier? This blue one. Becky, are you watching? Is this the one that you said you liked in the navy? Or royal blood? I think it was in the navy. Yeah, because the other one was black. I think so. Okay, so let's play with some in the navy. Where are you in the navy? All right, it's in the navy. So we got that. Let's see what else. Let's do some terracotta. Why not? All right. Do. Okay. So covered it. Okay, come on. There we go. Now I'm going to try my other sprayer because that one might have been a little bit too fine of a mist. Yeah, this one's a little bit freer with its water. Yes, these are infusion powders. They are colored stains. Well, hello, Queen P. Just in time. We're putting down our Carnival Wet Strength on some infusions here and seeing what fabulousness we can create. I just happen to have a bunch of smaller pieces of the Carnival Wet Strength tissue, and so let me use it up so it doesn't go bad. Yeah, there are different brands. Um, there's Brushos. There's another one that P and Mariah use. There's also the infusions. There's Lindy's. Um, yeah. Let me get my. Cameron said, Eddie, I don't want you in my studio, just to let you know. I'm teasing, Karen. I'm teasing. Some of this up here before I get it on my fingers. Karen said, ain't no hoe like a good hoe. Hey. color burst, that'll work for you. Yeah. And we're doing this on the gel plate. Karen said, ain't nobody got time for these messy hoes. Just give me some brush O's. I'm less selective if the hoes are interesting. Look, they usually come with the good story, P, right? So good story or boring evening. Good stories or boring evening. I'm going for the good stories. Okay. So I'm going to set these aside for a moment because I think our mixed media paper is dry enough. So let's get back onto that. All right, I'll go here. Got my big plate. Nope, that's got stuff on it. Let me see. I got another one over here. I do have another one. All right, well, here's what I'm going to do. Should have done this earlier. I forgot to pull this one. But let me pull this one and then we'll do the other print. So this was, if you've seen my last video where I created stained glass gel prints with my new stencil. All right, this lamp light is like, it moves on its own. I swear to God. Sorry, guys. This light here is just a mess. Okay. Yes, I made stained glass prints using Retro Blocks. Comes out tonight at midnight. It is the August release. So this is what was left over on the plate. And I did two things. I put a wash of paint down. Well, I put up a layer of paint down, sprayed it with water, let it do its funky thing, let it get all selly and weird. And then I pulled it with Arctic blue from Lucas Krill. Well, P, I give you permission to go down in that office and grab yourself a copy of this lovely new stencil. I designed this with you in mind, P, because I know you want to do a long haul with this. And this is the Yasutomo sketch paper I'm using. It's the big one. So it got everything that was all over the plate. So we got a nice clean plate. It is. Oh, see, Mariah, you're the best. That. So you see what happens when you spray your paint with water, let it dry. This camera is behaving really bad. Hang on. I don't know what's going on here. Let's try this again. Let's see. All right, you see those cool little fine details? That is that's what happens. I lay down a layer of, I think it was Indian yellow I put down. And then I sprayed it with water, let it dry, let it dry, let it dry. And then pulled the entire thing with a nice layer of the Arctic blue. Because I like these reds. There's some rich reds in here. There's gold. There's some greens in here. Some really pretty greens. All kinds of good stuff going on the edges. And I want to make sure I got everything without disturbing the integrity of it. And I thought blue would be the best. This stencil P loves to pucker. It leaves a good pucker. I'll show you. All right, so these are the prints from that video. that I had just mentioned where I'd made these. Yeah, stone wall, totally. Is this the new bricks? But look at those puckers in there. I know, my technology isn't as good, but there's a lot of puckering going on in there. You can see it here really well. Gonna try and move my camera a little down, little more down. Sorry, guys. All right. This is one that's released tomorrow, P. It's called Retro Blocks. I think Mariah said she was sending Izzy uh, to you with it. If not, you storm that office. You say, I demand my stencil. I demand my Retro Blocks. Someone said it looks like mice, computer mice. Hi, Liz. How are you? Yeah, it could be bugs. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yep. Chiquita. Yep. Now, I thought it'd be fun too. Like, I might do this. I'm not going to do this today, but I might do this. Is put these. Is take several prints because I can kind of cut around these, right? And then like kind of combine it with another one and another one. Maybe use 3 different prints, but connect them all. Does that make sense? Hello, Anina. How are ya? Yeah, and these are all done with the golden fluid acrylics, my transparent paints, um, to give you that kind of glassy kind of look. Yeah, that's what makes it fun, Becky, because then the person using it can create whatever they want. Now, this one was using paints that were a little more loosey goosey because I added water and some airbrush medium, so this one's a little bit loosey goosey. Tomorrow is Swish National Day, but because of heat wave, no fireworks. You know what? Yeah, that makes sense, Anina. Better safe than sorry. It is hot over there. I feel bad for you guys. I love that one. That was Twisted Flower. Oh, remember this? This is the one from the last stream. It was a clean off sheet for the Tyvek pieces. And then I went over it with I think it was a color shift paint, and went over it. And I don't know, I love it. It's got a retro vibe. Oh, and then what you can do with your brayer offs is go over them with black paint. Hi, Jeanette. So you can see you can do a lot of fun stuff. And if I have time today, I'm going to pull out some brayer offs and play with those. But yeah, so this is what you can do with your brayer offs. If you brayer off intentionally, like P teaches us. So when you brayer off, is that sheet piece of paper you keep next to you when you're gel printing to clean off your brayer. When you're brayering off and you're cleaning your brayer onto that paper, keep in mind how you're doing it, because you can create a beautiful piece of paper just by cleaning off your brayer, by thinking about it. Take your time with it, and then you get bonus prints. It's not just a piece of paper with a bunch of paint on it. There's thought behind it. Oh, this one's using another new stencil. This one is Whirly Birds. So this one is Whirly Birds in blue, right? Behind it, I put a layer, and I forget. I think it's this paint here. this ultramarine light, put a layer of that, and again, sprayed it with water, let it do its thing, and then dried, let it dry. And then I pulled it with the burnt orange metallic from Liquitex. And that just makes this really just fabulous print, I think. So there we go. Okay. Just got those. We got that one. See here, I'm gonna use. What you gonna do with all that junk inside the trunk? Here. This was the stencil. Okay, so we've got our mixed media paper here that has the dilutions. I sprayed all over it. Sprayed a little bit of water onto it too. Now I'm gonna lay down my stencil. And I'm gonna take some white gesso. Now, pay attention to this. This is gonna happen really fast, guys. Really fast. White gesso, it's okay on your plate. Don't be afraid. It's just acrylic paint, basically. Do I need a little bit more? I do. I do need a little bit. Un poquito más. Un poquito más. That's Spanish for just a little bit more. What's the Spanish for orange 15-year celebration? Karen? Orange quinceañera. All right, that's good. Okay. Like I said, this is going to happen fast. All right, let's put this down here. This is also 9x12, which is perfect. Okay. Yeah, Chiquita, we were on Karen's live earlier, and she was trying to get her tongue around the word quinceañera, so we're trying to help her pronounce it. And she said, "Well, Eddie, when you go live, I want you to say it so I can learn." And of course, whenever I speak to my Karen, I got to say orange. Yes, that's vintage floor tile by me. That's stencil. See, anaranjado. Well, when I lived in Memphis, I moved from Boston to Memphis, so it was like, culture shock. And I worked for a clothing store, and people would come in, and when I first started, people come in and go, "Hey, I was wondering if you got that shirt in orange." What? Excuse me? Orange. I don't know what that color is. Orange. Like you eat, orange. Ah, okay. Orange. So that's where I learned that. But yeah. Yes. Anaranjado. And Amarillo ain't just a city in Texas, it's also a color. It's yellow. You guys ready for this? Pay attention. Look at that. Look at the magic. I love that. It turned out so good. So again, mixed media paper in black, obviously. Spray with Delusions or water soluble dye spray, whatever you got. Basically, you want a dye that's not going to be that's not going to instantly set. Okay, you want something that's going to react to water. Um, so then let that dry. Then you lay down some white gesso, and there you go. Let the white gesso do its thing. Isn't that great? I love that. Very cool indeed. Okay, so I got that stencil can hang out here. You can dry. And let's see here. Look at these. These are almost dry, so I'm just going to pull them up as is. Oh, I love that. Well, I keep looking at these, Rhonda, that I pulled earlier, and it seems to be giving a little bit more, but it doesn't keep going. I think once the gesso dries, it it it's done. Um, it's done pulling. I don't know, but that's what I've observed so far. I think. All right, I need something to put those on. I need a surface. Oh, P, while you're here, let me show you what I did with my tape cores. So these are the innards of the tape, the masking tape, and I made cups for storage. Just a little piece of cardboard on the bottom, and then I did the packaging paper glue down, and then these are gel prints on medical exam paper. And then I went over them with Mod Podge. How fun are those? Look at that. This one with the circle dots added. So, or cutouts of gel prints. This one got put a little string on the edges. A little rustic. And then this one here in the red. With the contrasting blue and white. Little dotty designs. Nice and strong. And then this one, you'll be proud of me, P. I used my empty gesso bottle and I made this. How cool is that? Look, I've got the tissue all pretty in there. The only part that I need to Mod Podge is the bottom because the rest was dry. The bottom's not soggy. Mo, it's not a soggy bottom. Uh, so, so you are quite an inspiration, Queen P. Thank you. You teach us so much. Um, all right. I'm gonna here. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me get a piece of paper here. And thank you, P. All right, look at these. Oh, these are spectacular. They kind of look like autumn leaves almost. I'm gonna lay them down and then I'll hold them up so we can see better against the white paper. How awesome are those? These are still wet, so that's why you get that shine. But look at that. Do some line work on them and make leaves and stuff. I love it. So let's address the remainder of our stuff here. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Dark, right? It's like rich dark though. It's not like just dark. It's got a richness to it that I'm absolutely like really crushing on right now. All right. This is still wet. I'm gonna give it a little bit more spritz. Little spritz. Just so the paper's got something to stick to. You notice I'm not futzing with it too much. Just lay it down and let it do its thing. Like when ABBA says, lay all your love on me, they also wanted to include and let it do its thing, but it didn't fit the music. So, but that's what they meant. Very cool. All right, this one, not a lot, but there is. But that's the thing with these powders is they might not seem like there's a lot, but there could be. I'm just going to add to it because this was the cerise and something else. I have some black currant here. I don't know, was black currant on here? I don't remember it being on my list of swatches. That's raspberry, magenta. Are you cerise? Did I not do the black? Maybe I didn't swatch out my black currant. Okay. I think we all do, P. I think we all overfutz. All right, that's a lot. So, all right. Put that to the side, and I'm going to get my big. Oh yeah, put mine on a ring. Because in my when I was at the house, my house, I had places like all this stuff. I had it set up where a lot of things I could hang so that like I could just easily reach it if I was using something that I needed to reference to with that. So like I had my color wheel stuff hanging and some other stuff. I had swatches and but can't do that right now. Okay, let's lay this down. Let's see what we get. Again, I'm using the Carnival wet strength tissue. If you do this with regular tissue, you got to leave it completely until it dries. Otherwise, it's just going to rip on you. I wouldn't even do it just because it's can be really frustrating. I would just go for something else that's more strength, that has more strength. Ooh, this looked like the innards, like viscera. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Viscera. Google it if you don't know. I love big words. I love interesting words. Like the other day, I was talking about, I forgot, I think it was BMR Studio, a scurry funge. Y'all know what a scurry funge is? It's a great word. It's an old word. It means to straighten up really quickly, to do a mad straightening up before people come over. Scurry funge. I love that word. I was also kind of a nerd in school with vocabulary and stuff. I could spell better than the teachers. uh God. It's a good one. Another one off the top of my head that I can think of is Yule Hole. Yulehole. Oh, bye, Carol. Take care. So a Yule hole is that last hole on your belt that you open your belt, that you put your belt to, that you loop it to after you've eaten so much at the holidays, when you gotta expand it so your belly has some room to groove. All right, I'm gonna pull this up. It's pretty fabulous. Maybe I can get some of that on here. So don't just come here for the art. You get all sorts of stuff here. You get accents. You get Spanish. You get French. Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm going to let that go a little bit longer. Now, yeah. My black what? Black paper? We're talking about. ¿De qué hablas, señora P? Hasta mañana. Oh, bye, chiquita. Well, I haven't used black yet. I'll show you the black in a minute. I have Black Knights. I'll show you the black. I haven't used that yet. So let's do it on this one here. Yeah, it's a different brand. These are Infusions by Paper Artsy. Quick little wipe up here. Let's see. Look, this has intensified a little bit. Oh, that was a great experiment. I'm glad I did that. Okay. That's enough of that. Yeah. And I hear Mariah going, well, you better fill out a form, lady. Fill out the form. All right. And then Darcy, I hear Darcy going, in triplicate. That's what I'm talking about. We have fun. If you hang with us long enough, you'll be just as weird. And like Martha Stewart says, that's a good thing. Oh, Martha. I saw an article today, real quick, talking about how she's reversing the aging process with some lotion. Yeah, and a few $1,000s worth of plastic surgery. Come on. You have that much money, there's stuff that you do to look good, okay? And you don't have to stress about stuff so the wrinkles don't show up as bad. When you can sleep at night because you got plenty of money in the bank, there's a roof over your head, your bills are paid, you can sleep at night and you don't get those eye bags. You don't get stress marks. You don't get stress face, right? So we got to take these things in perspective. Like I see some of these like things about famous people. I'm like, yeah, because sometimes they got people to do it for them, or they have enough money to get it medically done. I mean, look at all these Ozempic freaks out there, celebrities taking Ozempic like it's going out of style, and now they look like skeletons. They don't look good. They don't look healthy. Ain't nothing wrong with a little thickness. You know what I'm saying? The twigs don't get the loving. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So this was, again, this was called Black Knight. Doo, 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 doo. I've earned my wrinkles. I've earned my everything. That's the thing that you got to keep in mind is now the other thing is your body regenerates at such a pace that you don't realize. So every 10 years, your body has regenerated bones, everything, um, skin, all that. So, you're not the same person physically you were 10 years ago, in or out. We've got to stop pretending that, we can look the same forever. It's just not normal. It's not normal. Like when they do a thing on celebrities like, "Oh, look at what they look like now." Yeah, because 'cause they're 10 years older than the picture you're posting, goof. Of course they're gonna look different. You moron. Hi, Darlene. Thank you. That's right, Becky. More to love. They don't know. That's the thing is you can't these people they talk a good game, but that's they are they are where they are because they can talk a good game and and all that, but you get to a certain point in this whole celebrity famous person kind of billionaire millionaire status where you lose touch with reality. You really do because a lot of stuff is being done for you. You don't go to the grocery store like a normal person. You don't have to worry about how you're going to pay your bills next month. You don't worry about that stuff. So yeah, you can focus on improving your life, or you can go on a retreat or a sabbatical. Yes. Girl, get out of my face with that nonsense. That time for you. Where's my white paper? Oh, I want to get this here. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to do it for yourself, right, Becky? You got to do it for yourself. Ooh, there's a lot left behind there. There's murder on the dance floor. But you better not kill the groove. DJ, gotta burn this goddamn house right down. Oh, that's good, Ivy. I hope they took care of you. If not, give me some names. I'll take care of them for you. All right, give us a little bit more water. Un poquito más. Now, I wonder if I have any of that Yasutomo sketch paper. Thought I did. There's some random tissue here. Let me see. I think this is regular tissue, so this may not work on here. Yeah, I don't even want to try it because that's just gonna rip. Yeah, it'll be a mess. No. Oh well. I got some smaller pieces of that. This is medical exam paper. Yeah. That tore too easily. Yeah. That's exercise P. All right, I'm going to be gentle with this. See how differently it behaves with this paper? I'm being very, very, very gentle. I'm barely touching it. All right. Let's finish these up because at 4 o'clock, I'm out of here. Oh, that's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's see what else I can get up here. This is all experimenting, guys. This is the fun of having these art supplies, is not just having them and saying, "Oh yeah, I have that," but you got to use it. Put it to good use. Play with it. They're meant to be played with. Sorry there, Eric. All right, set you there. All right, let's get some powder on here. Okay, it's another interesting one. It was that Rocky Roads one. You see the name Infusion. The paper is medical exam paper. This is I cut it's cutoffs from when I cut them down to the what do you call it? When I cut it down for the gel plate, it comes basically. This is the length of the tube that they come on. It's a big one. Gotta cut it down. I'm gonna take my little wipey here, wipe that down. Right here. So this is Rocky Road. This has all kinds of different stuff in it. Wait. Take back on. Is this what is on the seat normally? Huh? Oh, like the paper, like at the doctor's office? Yes. Yes. There's a couple of different kinds, but yes, that's what it is. And they sell it on it's you can find it on Amazon, or a lot of different places, different retail outlets. Just do a little googly searchy and they'll tell you where in your neighborhood you can find it. That's what I do like about the Googles is that you can when you type in an item, you can select shopping and gives you all the purchase options for that item or similar, and then you can select it to your area. You can be more specific with it. Aerial spreeds. All right. Yeah, make friends with your doctor and go, "Doc, listen, I've got an art project. Need your help." All right, try something. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna push the paper down in the middle and let it spread that way. see what it does. Yeah, you don't want the used stuff. Right. So I'm just going to take the back of this brush here. Just gently manipulate it. See how I'm dragging it out? Can you see that? Let's see if I can hold it up. So I'm taking here where it's puddled, just dragging it out. Dragging it out. There we go. All right, we'll let that hang out for a bit. Yeah, this one turned out nice. I love that. Very, very lovely. Let me see if I can get these off of here. Let's see how much is left. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Some of that left the design behind too. Thanks, Becky. Yeah, these are fun. I wasn't going to do this, honestly. And then I saw the brush shows. I was getting ready for the stream and I was watching Karen. I saw the brush shows out of the corner of my eye or the infusions. I'm like, let me bust those out. No, P, I learned from you. So, you know, you have to give yourself credit. Sorry, I can't hold that up. It's just very wet, but look. So cool. Hello, Julie Parker. Oh, see, there you go. Rosemary says she asked her doctor, and they gave her some. She just wanted to try before she bought it. That is a great idea. All right. The black is pretty black. Let me hold up this paper here. It's pretty dark. It has some green, like olivey green, kind of. Oh. These are pigment powders, Anina. They're infusions. These are made in the UK. There's other ones, they're called brush shows, or there's Lindy's. You know, there's different ones, but you want to look for water-based colored powders or pigment powders or hello, Sherry, any of those. Okay, you gotta go over here. And I'll do my best to photograph these and I'll post them once they're dried so you can really see what they look like. So I'm going to lay down some tissue on here, although I'm going to add another color. Let's see what other color I can add to that black to make it fun. Let's do some royal blood. No, that's too dark because this is dark already. And the royal blood is pretty dark. See, it's Black Knight. How about some of the sage? Where's the sage? Clean Man, Emerald, Olive Tree, the sage. Here we go. And another one's on there. Yeah, there's a few different brands out there. Is your hole clogged? This one, opening's not quite as large. Let's see here. Yeah. And you see, they're not, they don't affect the gel plate negatively at all. And I think it's a great way to use them too because you can control them, I think, easier on the gel plate. These powders scare me. I can imagine them. Oh, I know. Well, this is why you got to make sure that you, I guess so you got a little hole in the top. That's all you need. You know, use a silicone mat that's easy to clean up. Wonderful. Or unless you got a lot of that brown packaging paper or grocery bags, those are great. Lay some of those down. Make a nice mess making space for yourself. All right, let's add a little bit more water to activate that green. May not show up so much. I didn't put a lot on there, but let's see here. Oh yeah, a little bit goes a long way. Come on. Separate, separate. All right, let's see if we can manipulate these a little bit. So lovely. These are going to be so much fun once they're dry. Depending on how they turn out, they might make interesting backgrounds for like Halloween. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave you with that. It is almost 4 o'clock. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you had some fun. I hope you learned something. I did. That's Carnival wet strength tissue, Julie. I was saying earlier that you may not want to use your regular tissue for this exercise because it can tear so easily. Although the medical exam paper seemed to work all right, you just can't oversaturate it. I mean, I guess you could use the regular tissue. You just got to be, you know, ginger with it. All right. And then we did these on the black mixed media paper. And now, Julie, I'll explain these to you quickly. So, because I know you missed it, but what I did is I took um, black mixed media paper and I sprayed it with my dilutions sprays in different spots. I added a little bit of water and then I let it dry. And then I put down white gesso through a stencil on the gel plate and then picked it up with the black paper and we got this. And that gesso activates those dyes and pulls it through and creates these really, really cool things. We do that. I don't know about tracing paper. I haven't tried it. I don't know. I can't say about that, but you know what? If you've got some, give it a try. All right, guys. Thanks so much, and have a great Friday. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you guys over at PM Artist Studio on Sunday, 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern. Until then, bye.